With its timeless symmetry, steep tip roofs and elegant details, French provincial architecture feels like something out of a European storybook, yet it's been quietly influencing American neighbourhoods for nearly a century. In today's episode of Homes Explained, we're exploring the romantic and refined world of French provincial homes, how they came to America, what defines them inside and out, and the lasting legacy they've left on American residential homes. French provincial architecture traces its origins to the stately country homes and chateaux of rural France, particularly regions like Normandy and Provence during the 16 and 1700s. These residences were built by the nobility, families who wanted very elegant yet livable homes outside of the formal cities. The word provincial actually refers to the provinces or countryside of France, where the architecture blended classical French symmetry and proportion with rustic charm and the use of local materials such as limestone, brick, timber, and slate. American interest in the style grew after World War I as returning soldiers brought back with them this fascination with these elegant rural homes they'd seen all across the French countryside. And by the 1920s, American architects began incorporating elements of the French provincial style into upscale custom homes, especially in affluent suburbs where European-inspired design was seen as refined and aspirational. The style experienced a second wave of popularity in the 1960s as traditional European-inspired homes gained favour in the post-war suburban developments, but obviously this was post-Second World War. French provincial homes were seen to offer a grace and refinement, but without the extravagance of the more ornate other revival styles. So let's take a closer look at the exterior features which define this timeless aesthetic. Number one, French provincial homes are almost always symmetrical across the front facade. Windows and doors are carefully balanced, often arranged around a centred entry, giving the home a very formal and composed appearance. Just like colonial homes, this symmetry creates a sense of order and timelessness. And this image that you're seeing now of the French provincial side by side with the colonial shows just how very similar they are. However, the French provincial is definitely softened by more elegant detailing and the graceful roofline. So the emphasis is less rigid and more romantic, suggesting a quiet elegance rather than formality just for the sake of it. The second most recognisable feature is the steeped hipped roof, which often flares slightly at the eaves, creating a soft curve and a really lovely silhouette. And while some French provincial roofs include dormer windows, they tend to be minimal, allowing the roofline to remain elegant and uninterrupted. Many homes of this style also feature a prominent pointed tower, and sometimes multiple towers that are either centred or positioned symmetrically on either side of the home. This adds visual drama as well as a historic nod to the rural chateaux of the French countryside, which inspired this architectural style. Next up, the exteriors of French provincials were often clad in either brick or stucco, and brick was usually laid in a decorative pattern such as Flemish bond or herringbone, which lended a very subtle texture and interest to the facade. The stucco was usually in soft earth tones such as cream or taupe, and the finish was smooth and refined, reinforcing the style's polished elegance. In some regions, especially the south, a whitewashed or lightly aged stucco treatment just kind of added to the old world vibe. The fourth exterior feature were the very tall and narrow windows, which often reached all the way down to the floor, especially near the front entrance, which actually blurred the lines between kind of windows and doors. And this feature is closely tied to the origins of French doors, which were designed to maximise natural light. Window shutters were typically fixed and purely decorative, but one thing that's really unique about French provincial homes is that the shutters have their own kind of signature colour, which is a soft blue, which originally came from the pigments of natural French slate. And finally, wrought iron was another signature detail in French provincial architecture, rooted in centuries of French craftsmanship, because in rural France, blacksmiths would create iron elements for both security and ornamentation, which became a hallmark of the style. Juliet balconies, lantern-style sconces and decorative window grilles are common features, each adding a layer of handcrafted detail that reinforces the home's refined character. While the exterior sets the tone with balance and elegance, the interior of a French provincial continues that same sense of refinement, rooted in tradition, yet comfortably livable. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It really helps out my little channel and lets me know it's worth continuing to do this. And if there's a house profile you'd like to see me cover, please write it in the comments. I'm always open to suggestions. So moving to the interior, feature number one, just like the colonial homes, French provincial architecture carries its symmetry from the exterior into the interior, where the floor plans are arranged around a central hall entry with a formal living room and a formal dining room on either side. This layout is extremely balanced and orderly and reflects the home's classical roots. Feature number two, French provincial interiors are known for their understated elegance. You'll often see plaster walls, tall baseboards, intricate crown moulding, and decorative wall panelling. Arched openings between rooms are another signature touch, softening the transitions while reinforcing the home's classical influences. And all these features lend a quiet formality to the space, elevated yet never excessive. Next up, the interior finishes often reflect the style's French origins, with materials that feel both refined and very grounded. So you'll see wide plank hardwood floors, exposed ceiling beams, and limestone or terracotta tiles are very common. These natural textures and materials bring warmth and authenticity to the interior. And remember, the inspiration for this architectural style comes from country farmhouses in rural France, not grand city estates. So it's not designed to feel overly polished or pristine. And finally, the colour schemes in French provincial homes are soft and timeless. Think warm whites, gentle creams, muted greys, and powdery blues. These tones create a very calming, cohesive backdrop that allows the architectural details and natural materials to take centre stage. French provincial homes have remained quietly influential in American architecture. The style gained popularity after each World War during a broader wave of European revivalism of the 20th century. This was when Americans looked to historic styles such as Tudor, colonial, and Spanish revival for a sense of permanence, tradition, and prestige. And French provincial offered a softer, more refined take on this trend, combining classical elegance with rustic warmth. And while it never reached the ubiquity of colonial or craftsman style, French provincial has proved remarkably resilient. Its timeless proportions and restrained detailing have allowed it to evolve gracefully through changing tastes and eras. Today, the style continues to inspire luxury custom homes thanks to its ability to feel both formal as well as welcoming. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the beautiful French provincial home. Don't forget to let me know in the comments which style you'd like to see profiled next, and I'll see you next week.